going to go ahead and start with our budget hearing tonight. The purpose of the budget hearing is to take public input regarding the budget committee approved budget for the 26-27 school year. The budget will be presented to the school board for board adoption this evening during the regular meeting. So we're going to go ahead and call this meeting to order. And if we can have Crooked River do our flag salute.
Got it. So we wanted to celebrate some of our fifth graders because this is the end of their elementary school era. So we're just gonna ask them a couple of questions before we get started. So let's call them back.
Yes. So this group over here, these four, they're gonna tell you what they are gonna miss about elementary school. So first, they're gonna introduce themselves. So you can go ahead and start. Introduce yourself.
My name's Andrew Gaines, and the thing I'm gonna miss about Crooked River Elementary is doing bingo with all the kids and helping them out.
My name's Clayton, and what I'm gonna miss about Crooked River Elementary is that the leadership jobs with all the kindergartners and first graders.
My name is Emma, and the thing that I'm gonna miss about from elementary school is all the teachers that I had. Right?
My name is Jackson, and for one thing I'm gonna miss about elementary school is the teachers there, because when I think about them, it just makes me feel nostalgic.
So my crew is going to tell you what they are excited for middle school. So we'll start with Eden.
My name is Ann Foshin, and I'm excited for more advanced technology in middle school, like more advanced programming and things like that.
My name's Mackenzie, and I'm excited for all the different teachers and classes. My name's Hadley, and I'm excited to be able to walk around more. My name is Lynn. I'm excited not walking the line.
It's not the plan, but there's no appointment. Okay, so if everybody could please face the flag and we'll have this.
Ready, set, begin.
I of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Crooked River.
Let's give them a round of applause. We'll give them a second, so they can exit as well.
Okay, we will now open the budget hearing to allow public an opportunity to provide input on the 26-27 budget being presented to the school board. Do we have any public comment tonight? All right, well, we are going to adjourn the budget hearing meeting. And now we will open this up for our school board meeting. And please note that we have all 5 members tonight. Thank you so much. Agenda additions, deletions, revisions, and agenda approval. Do we have anything?
Madam Chairman, I move to approve the agenda as presented.
I'll second. Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the agenda. Do we have further discussion? Okay, let's vote. Kevin?
Yes.
Kelsey? Yes. Eric?
Yes.
Scott?
Yes.
And yes as well. Thank you. 3.0 recognitions. We're going to move this over to Dr. Hall.
Yes, I'm gonna start. We have 3 very important people here tonight. I'm gonna introduce some COCC representatives. First, if you guys want to come there, is Susie Christensen. Susie is the head of COCC Prineville, and she's been doing it for 15 years. Let's give Susie a round. Next up, we have Laura Kraska Cooper. And Laura has been a COCC board member representing Prineville, our community, for
13 years.
13 years. Let's give Laura a big round. No, don't think you're gonna hide in the back. You have to come up here.
You'll have to take a picture.
Yeah. Yes, and Laura is Scott's wife, in case you know. So,
Yeah, I remain.
yeah. And then finally, Dr. Greg Pereira is the president of COCC. So let's give Greg a. So, and the reason we invited these three people here is our students, the class of 2026 has an amazing accomplishment. So last year was the first year ever that we had a student graduate from Crook County High School concurrently with an Associates of Arts degree. So we had 4 last year as our first year. This year, we doubled. So we have 8 students that, just to explain that, so while they're taking high school classes, they're concurrently taking classes from COCC at the high school, and they earn their associate's degree in addition to their high school diploma. So if my math is right, so we doubled from 4 to 8 this year. That means in 4 years, half of our class. So that's the goal at least. So with that, I'm gonna call up some students and we'll recognize them. Sawyer Woosley. Sawyer, please. And as I call the students, can you guys line up right there in front of my friend Mrs. Logan, so that way, so that. Liam Huffman, was he able to make it? Believe it or not, it's really hard to get seniors to come back to this. I saw Isaac Ritter. Let's give Isaac Ritter. I saw El Bukai. El Bukai. Ryan Quinn. Big round. And then Christy Town, our valedictorian. So what was have you guys line up along there, looking at our friends? Dr. Greg Pereira, words of insight. This is a huge accomplishment.
This is a massive accomplishment. So finishing high school is hard enough. We can start there, but getting an associate's degree at the same time is truly remarkable. And it takes a lot of dedication and commitment because there were a lot of times you could have been doing something else, I'm sure. And you chose to focus on your studies. So we're here because we are so incredibly proud of each and every one of you. And we just wish you the most success. And we're here to help you in any way, shape, or form possible.
And thinking about it, you're a junior now in college.
You just saved a lot of money. Which is a good thing.
Hey, so let's go real quick. If we could just say your favorite memory in high school and what you're doing after high school.
Ooh.
And so are you?
My favorite memory in high school is probably just having conversations with people. I couldn't name a specific one, but afterwards looking back, I'm realizing that all the relationships that I've built with people that I might not see again for a long time, but I'll be able to know what kind of person they were and they helped better me. I think that was just a whole area of high school, I'd have to say. I can't name them.
That was
I've had a lot of time to reflect.
Yeah.
And after that, after high school, I'm going to Alaska and I'm gonna study pre-law
It's awesome.
at University of Alaska Fairbanks.
Hey, let's give it up again for valedictorian, Christy Cass.
I can't top that. I would just like hang out with my friends. Yeah, like I'm not gonna see some of them, but also I'm going to Oregon State, so I'm gonna see so many people there. After this, I'm gonna study either biohealth sciences or biology, and then I'm gonna go to grad school or like medical school.
Very cool. Hey, let's give it up. Ryan Quinn.
Jeez. Same, I don't know one specific, but I think the teachers are pretty incredible. Cook County High School, I feel very grateful for all that they've done for us and excelling. Like our academia, it's really special. So I think that's super cool. I'm going to University of Oregon, go Ducks, and I am double majoring in business psychology, and I'm going to go into law school.
I don't know. I had like lots of great opportunities in high school. I did so many different like activities that it was crazy. I really enjoyed like building a group of friends and like meeting new people. I came from Pal Butte, so like I didn't know anyone. So it was really fun to like build that. And I'm going to Western Oregon to do my math degree and maybe my education degree.
Mr. Isaac Ritter.
Well, my dad is a teacher at the high school, and in our sophomore year during AP Human Geography, he came in and talked about his experience on his foreign exchange in Brazil, and that was really cool. And I will be heading to Spain for a year to study Spanish.
Goodness, how fun. I want to go with Spain. Hey, and before we let all these people go, we did want to do a special recognition. So Dr. Greg Pereira started a year ago.
It did, yes.
Perhaps. And we've always had an awesome relationship with COCC, but just in this 1 year, Dr. Pereira has taken it to the next level. He's super engaged with kind of the rural communities, with Prineville. I believe I saw we have some of the highest growth out of all the COCC branches. And I think a lot of that has to do with Dr. Pereira and his willingness to get involved. Whenever we have a problem, he jumps right in. Great guy, doing awesome. Dr. Greg Pereira, let's give it up. Now, everyone's favorite part, we all have to take a picture together. So,
Together, let's do it. Make it work.
crowd in, crowd in.
You tell them, Bree.
Ryan, you'll probably be in the back.
Ryan, you're still.
All right, big smiles. Thank you.
All right, let's give him another round of applause. We'll give him a second to let him file out. Thank you, guys. All right. Hey, next up, I want to call up Rich Simons, principal of Grizzly Mountain Home Link. Let's give him a round of applause. So it was probably February of last year. And Rich was here at the district office doing communications and some HR work. And we had a vacancy pop up at Grizzly Mountain Home Link. And I remember Rich and I was like, buddy, would you go take care of Grizzly Mountain Home Link? And he jumped in with 2 feet. Enrollment. He was able to put together a lot of family events, restore staff culture. And because of Rich's work, we saw Grizzly Mountain Home Link, the enrollment pop back up by over 50 students in just 1 year. And a lot of it was because Rich and then his team, and he has some of his teammates here. Do you want to call up your folks and say a word or two?
Yeah, they're shaking their heads.
Yeah.
I have a choice. I got Rachel Farger, come on up. Tim Kirkman, come on up. Christy Breeze, come on up. I see Julie DeRose trying to hide back there. If she can get out of that row, or if you can get it back. We didn't have anybody else coming late today. So, can I say?
Yes, please.
Couple things? Yeah, I actually, wrote some things down. But Joel took some of my stuff already, but, when I got into the job, we talked about, we didn't want to just be, just doing okay. We wanted to be the best. And we really wanted to make, our program, which is a pretty unique program, we wanted to make it kind of a destination, something that would be known throughout the region. And I can say that, I think that that's happened. We set these goals. We did some great things like having community events because we are a learn from home operation. And so we wanted to have opportunities for families to come in and connect and meet each other because sometimes they don't have that opportunity. We wanted kids to come in and have the opportunity to be social and get to know each other and learn how to work collaboratively and how to work with an authority figure like scary teachers like Tim, So very important skills that kids need to develop. And so Grizzly Mountain is able to do that. We increased the rigor. And then the funny thing happened was when I got in there and was able to get out of the way and kind of let the teachers teach and let counselors counsel and the secretaries do their thing, like people came back and the school grew and we had this incredible growth and they've handled it beautifully. And I think the school is in a really healthy place. And as a matter of fact, we're getting, I've had requests from Coos Bay and Arizona and places of people asking to enroll in our school. And we tell them no, because they don't live in our area. And so, but we are getting a lot of people that come to us from Madras and Redmond and different areas. And so, it has become kind of a well-known quantity, so much so that we've had inquiries from Madras District about starting a school like this. Sisters has come to us and asked how we did it. And so the work has paid off, and it's been a really great journey. Yeah, and our enrollment has really burgeoned this year. I think the future is incredibly bright. And I'm just so grateful for our staff. These people here standing next to me are amazing. I wish they all could have been here tonight, but you know, these 6:30 meetings, there's bedtimes, baseball, and all sorts of things happening. So not everybody could be here, but yeah, but these people right here that showed up tonight, they're a part of this team that's just really made a huge difference, and not just in the health of the school, but the lives of the kids that attend our school. Some of the stories that we have been able to witness are absolutely incredible. So I just want to say thank you so much to our staff.
Let's give them a big round of applause. We're going to take a quick picture, and then we actually have a genuine parent to recognize. So Tim, you're in the middle. We just want to show them that. A quick picture.
There's our kid.
All right, let's give them a round of applause. You know, and our other community member we wanted to recognize, and this is for, he just happens to be a GMH parent, is Sean Pichelle. Sean, want to come up? Let's give him a round of applause. I don't know when I met Sean. It had to be about 5 years ago when we were starting Grizzly. I believe he has 3 boys in the program. And one of the things I love about Sean is he is more passionate about Grizzly Mountain Home League than anyone that I know. He has been through thick and thin, and is always advocating for the program, always saying, hey, here's the heart of this program, here's what we need to do, and has been relentless in making sure that we keep Grizzly as an option for our families. Not only that, Sean also has, he'll just show up to things. So like when we were stuffing, I don't know, 300 food bags in here, Sean said, hey, how can I help? We have community members in our community that are hungry. I want to help. Can I donate? I said, hey, could you come in here and stuff your bags? And he and his wife showed up. He's always willing to help. He serves on our superintendent facilities committee, giving insight. He has just been such a valuable asset to the district, and does so thanklessly and never looks for credit. So I always like to give credit. So let's give it up to Sean Pichelle. Just a little bit about your experience with Grizzly Mountain Home Link and your students.
Grizzly Mountain Home Link is my vision of, I believe what education could be. Is that because the traditional education in person is not for everybody, that you should be able to pace yourself if your kids are advanced and they want to move forward. If they get stuck on something, they can get a little bit more time with that so they can move ahead. That was one of the challenges that we had early on with my oldest, Ethan, was that he would feel dumb, so he wouldn't ask questions. And because of that, he struggled. And I don't know the program, but it was the education program plan.
Oh,
the
yeah.
IEP program. Yeah. So he was on track to be able to get that when he was at Crook Elementary before COVID. And we were heading down that path. And because of Grizzly, and because he was able to step back and say, hey, like, I just need some more time with this and not feel like I'm dragging everybody down. So that is one of the things that I really love about Grizzly, is that when they want to run, they can run. When they need to stop and walk and learn, they can get that extra hand, that help. And, you know, Rich and everybody else do a great part in making that happen. And especially Rich. You know, we had some challenges in the last year, but he's really made a huge turnaround for Grizzly. So,
any questions from the school board? Yeah, we're real fortunate. Hey, everyone take your time.
And I wanted Sean to come because Sean is honest.
Yeah.
He's, no, I'm being serious. I told Joel, I said, you know, if we're doing something wrong, he will tell us. If we're doing something right, he will tell us. And I gotta say, like, as educators, particularly as administrators, if you're running a school, you need someone like Sean Pichelle to hold you accountable and keep you honest. And he has done that for us. And so I appreciate your passion.
Hey, let's give it up for Sean.
I did have one question for you.
Yeah, sure.
with all your experience with it, watching it, what's the next thing we're missing to make it even better?
Well, I think so, not to add it from the back too much, because, you know, I could fight with him tomorrow. Okay. I think that my vision, I've expressed this to both Rich and to Joel over the years, and we'll have our struggles, is that Grizzly should be our version of RPA, a hybrid of that, where if your goal is to graduate and end up with a associate's, this is the program that's gonna help you do that. And I think that is where I see Grizzly, hopefully, going in that direction to where people are applying to Grizzly as opposed to, we went through phases of it, and, you know, COVID was its own challenge, and having a challenging principal was another, is at one point we were dumping ground, for lack of a better, because they didn't have a place for it, so we became the special needs school. And then programs developed within the school district to help people in need a little more, instead of us getting more people that are refined in what they want to do, and a vision of what they want to do. So I see Grizzly as being that. I see it being as the place where where your kids are trying to get into, as opposed to it not being, you know, it's all just an alternative.
I will say, I do anticipate we will start a waiting list this year, so it's on the right track.
Any other questions? Let's go up for Sean Michelle. I would say. There you go. Thank you, guys. Let's get around applause. All right, next up. So last year was the first year that we ever did something called the Lon Austin Award. Lon Austin, I'll read this description really quick. So the Lon Austin Legacy and Athletic Awards is presented annually to an outstanding Crook County coach who has demonstrated exceptional leadership, dedication, and impact on the lives of student athletes in Crook County, particularly within the Prineville community. Named in honor of Lon Austin, a beloved coach, athletic news reporter, and passionate supporter of Crook County athletics, this award recognizes those who go above and beyond in fostering athletic skill and personal growth in their athletes. Through tireless commitment to excellence, mentorship, and community, the recipient of this award is someone whose influence extends beyond the field, leaving a lasting imprint on the lives of those they coach and inspire. This award serves as a tribute to the spirit of sportsmanship, hard work, and character that defines Lon Austin's career and continues to shape Prineville athletics. So we actually are fortunate to have Lon's wife, Carlene, is here to watch us present this as well. So I'm going to invite Rob Bonner, who is not the winner of this. Rob Bonner, come on up. Don't give Rob a round of applause. He does. However, we actually had two coaches, as Rob and I kind of talked about this. There were two coaches that stood out. We just said they both needed it. So let's start with Jason Mum. Let's give Jason Mum. You want to talk a little bit about Jason's accomplishment?
I do, and I'll talk about both of them when they're both up here too, but, Mr. Jason Mum, you know, what a year, and, you know, when the next person comes up too, I'll talk about how they both, are, you know, when you think of the Lon Austin Award, they're both very fitting for this. But first, Mr. Jason Mum, you guys all watched the, basketball season that they had, and, it speaks for itself. Jason Mum, IMC Coach of the Year. OACA, that's Oregon Athletic Coaches Association Coach of the Year, and OSAA Coach of the Year. So honored by all three entities this year, and you know, he'll of course tell you that it's his coaching staff, and we're very humble, and it's kind of one of the reasons that he's here for the Lon Austin Award, because Lon was much that same way, you know, very humble guy. So yeah, Jason, welcome.
Thank you.
Okay. Mr. Sam Schmidt. What is family? I asked Mr. Brown if I could Zoom meeting.
I said, no, you can't. So yeah, Coach Schmitz, Sam's been here, this is his first year as head coach, second year, with the, Crook County wrestling team. First year head coach with Crook County women's team, and they're state champs, this year with his first year at the helm. And in wrestling, at the women's division, they combine 6A and 5A together. So it's a feat. You know, I get on quite a bit because he says, oh, no, it doesn't matter. We're looking, you know, to Fargo, we're looking for national champs. And yes, we are, but also enjoy this. And first, this is the difference between basketball and wrestling. I just think that's fantastic that they're both here. But together, the Lon Austin word, we talked about humble and hardworking, and that's these guys, the hours they put in with youth teams, year round, you know, 2 games this week. You know, he's in the gym every morning with ladies and gentlemen of all ages, and just that work ethic, and the pride that they have in Crook County. I'm very blessed to be able to help present that. So thank you guys very much.
Any questions for our Lon Austin Award winners? Thank you.
I'll just say you can tell what good coaches they are from the character of the kids.
True.
Without a doubt.
I agree.
All I can say is my boys tried to do a girls' practice and they came home more tired than I've ever seen. And they're tired. I love it.
Yeah, there's no difference between the girl and boys practices. No.
Can you do this again next year, Sam?
Can we do it again? I don't know if my wife lets me.
So, and I gotta say that Michaela, is more decorated wrestler than Sam is. And she was Sam's assistant. That's not kidding. She's, you know, more decorated and quite amazing in her own right. And that's Sam's assistant coach, and what a blessing to have that tandem. So.
We got a few assistants over there.
I would say to that, Rob, they're both supported by great spouses.
Oh, yeah.
Very familiar with. Appreciate both of your spouses and your contributions. Yeah.
Bree, let's get a picture.
Carly, you gotta come up here. Thank you so much for being here. This has been a weekend. Thank you.
Lon also, as you guys were there, was.
Can I get an extra
still
Can I just be in between them?
Yeah, you can be in between. Then it'll walk that height.
Bree, can you get them with Lon in the background?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's very nice.
Yeah.
Go too fast. Sorry, you guys. There you go.
Perfect. Hey, let's give him a round of applause. Still going.
You are. I'm just checking the list.
Yeah. Hey, at our June meeting, we always recognize our amazing retirees, and just as hard as it is to get seniors to come to the district office after they graduate, we were able still to get some of our retirees. So, is Carrie Roosevelt here? We do have, I did see Tina Katzenberger. Let's give it up for Tina Katzenberger. Okay, Tina Simmons designed these. So these are heavy duty quality cutting boards, and they say, never underestimate the difference you made or the lives you touched. Congratulations on your retirement, Tina Katzenberger. So Tina worked for the district 26 years is what we have. CTE, and then more importantly, she did 6th grade camp for how many years?
So.
7 years.
Oh my God.
Spend the night in those bunks. So let's give her a big round of applause. Okay. Kim Croft, come on up. Let's give her a big round. Kim is a dear friend, and she taught just about everything. I think started in Spanish,
and
business, and not only did she teach, she did everything at the high school. I mean, the emails, the tech support. Kim has a legacy in the Crook County School District. 22 years, did just about everything. Let's give her a big round of applause.
I don't think you're counting on me. Because there was another 12 years in the Crook County School District.
Oh,
This
when
year
I-
is 18.
That's not within my first grade class.
Cool. Right.
And every class they're in.
These are like some
And
hard
every
cards.
class they're in.
Debbie Proctor. Rob, why don't you come up with? Can you say a few words about Debbie without getting?
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
So it's, yeah, this is coming a little earlier than I thought. We need to, so Debbie,
No,
yes,
maybe.
Debbie was there when I got there, and, I, am not good at that job. I just am not.
Yes, you
It's
are.
hard. There's a lot of moving parts, and I'm not very, organized by nature. So that first few years was touch and go. And Debbie was there to, yeah, do everything that I needed. She knew the job way better than I did, so she was able to say, you need to do this. Here, I've already done this for you. And that was a big help. And then, when we got Debbie out of the front office, because she was doing, head athletics, secretary things, and then principal secretary and all the frontline stuff. It was an impossible job. And when she had her own office, away from the front, then that's when I think we really became a fantastic team. And what she is to Crook County Athletics is, it's hard to communicate, and it's, easy to understate. So,
You're good. I don't have to say anymore.
yeah.
18 years for Debbie Proctor. My friend, Mr. White, come on up. Let's give it up for Mr. Phil White. So, Phil's been here 13 years, Barnes Butte Elementary Music. And what I actually what was that?
Like the baby.
Yeah. Is Phil didn't just teach music. He was a fierce advocate for literacy and student reading. He organized the OBOB team at Barnes Butte for all those years.
6 or 7, I think.
A lot of them. And then
I have to go count my t-shirts.
if you're ever a quiet donor to the Crook County School District, I will call you out. So whenever there was like, hey, we need money for shirts or to buy books or something, Phil and his wife always contributed, always were the first ones to donate. And no one ever knew about it. Everyone thought, oh, he's just doing music. No, he was going above and beyond and having a huge impact. So Phil White, 13 years. Thank you, Phil. Yes, this is a good, Denny Baldry. What are we gonna do next year? Denny Baldry. So Denny came and took over food service 7 years ago, and it went by in a blink. Yeah. He is retiring and moving to Texas like next few weeks, but yeah. Few weeks. He's out of here. He's not wasting any time. But Denny was instrumental in kind of the innovation that we did in our food service program, where my favorite memory is our Thanksgiving lunches that we do that a number of you have served at, where that was one of Denny's best ideas of some of our students don't get Thanksgiving dinners. So you can count on Crook County Food Service to step up the turkey, the pie, the stuffing, everything. So Denny's done such an amazing job for us, and we will miss him dearly. Thank you. And then Joan. There we go. I knew Joan's here. Let's give it up for Joan. Guys, Joan was doing the real work. She was a cafeteria attendant for us up at Barnes Butte for 5 years, and now is riding them off into the sunset.
No, I'm
No.
still it. This, yeah,
She's going to camp. She's going to continue.
I've been there for 5 years.
Never stops. So we are so grateful for Joan and all she does for us. Let's give it up for Joan. All right, we need a retiree picture. Come on up. Those things are heavier than they look.
But they're cool.
Very cool.
I'm not amazing. You're using the best. Oh, yeah. You're tall. I know. I don't think I, somebody stand on the chair. Yeah. You stand on the chair. That's right. I'm trying over the chair. Hey. Then you squeeze in there a little.
Thank you guys. Let's give it up. All right, that's all our recognitions.
Well, that was awesome.
Very cool.
Thank you.
Oh, you don't feel around, Joel.
I have some more guests.
Okay. So we're just gonna introduce 4.0 student feedback.
4.0.
Dr. Papa.
For this, I'm gonna invite Christy Town, up to the podium. And Sophie, do you wanna, and Kingston?
Yeah.
We did it last time
Okay,
too.
friends. Do I sit in there?
Yeah, you can sit in there. Sophie, here's a chair for you. So we're gonna start off, we started a tradition last year where at our June board meeting, we welcomed the valedictorian and salutatorian. Christy is our valedictorian, and Jace Jonas is our salutatorian. He couldn't make it, he's actually out of town. But we, I think last year we started with the board can ask questions of our valedictorian. We all know Sophie, she comes on, and then Kingston filled in, I wanna say at our last meeting, so.
Indeed.
Christy, do you wanna start off with, favorite class? You already answered your what your favorite memory is. So your favorite class, and then what is the high school doing well? And then what would you like to see us improve?
I probably, while it was hard, it's like you trauma bonded. So I really liked physics and chemistry with Mr. Lowenbach.
Well put.
Yeah. But what we were doing well. Let's see. I think CTE is going really well, and I think there's like a plethora of opportunities for all different kinds of students. While I could never do construction, oh goodness, that's available, and like maybe I'm not the best at art, but that's available. So I think it's cool, and I think that's going great. To work on, oh my goodness. I've heard this probably from other people. I think it'd be cool, just like maybe more foreign language. I think I've heard other people really are interested in other ones, besides Spanish, and it's another great way to get credits. Also side note, another thing they're doing well, I think the associate's degree process that's pretty well. Yeah, it's pretty good. And then the counselors too, also, they're great. I love the counselors.
Board, what questions do you guys have?
Chris, I'm just curious, I mean, you got the associate's degree, you got the regular degree, you're valedictorian, you're a student athlete, did you right?
X-ish, I did volleyball.
I mean, and you're senior class president?
ASB president,
ASB
yeah.
President, that's a lot.
Oh, there's
And
more.
you did how did you do all that? How did you make the time work?
Well, I laugh about it with my mom. I'm kind of nuts. Like I'm crazy. So I don't know.
Did sleep?
Sometimes she probably got less sleep than I did, but I don't know. It's just like it's like I don't know how to explain it. If I want it, I kind of like that's all. That's if I want it, I feel like at the end of the day, I better get it, you know? Like what else is there to do?
What?
I ain't got nothing else going on, might as well.
A couple other accolades. She got the presidential scholarship, OSU's highest scholarship, as well as the Ford Family Scholarship. So
Thanks.
very, very, very impressive.
No, very driven.
Thank you. I think so. I like to think so.
This accomplishment, it actually just blows me away. It really does.
Thank you.
Getting your AA at the same time is really, really tough, I'm sure.
I mean, it helps that all the classes are like integrated so well. So it's not like I have to do much different.
Yeah.
What foreign languages would you want to include?
I took Spanish and I really liked Spanish. So I mean, as far as myself, I can speak for I love Spanish, but I've heard other people would love to hear French. And then I think German might have been one, but as far as I can tell, French might be the main one other people are looking for.
Thank you.
More questions, more comments from our students? Anything else you'd like to share with the board?
Sophie sent out an email to Dr. Van Rokel talking about last time I was here. We talked about classes that we were talking about. We wanted to get more classes so we can get associates of the science going. Associates of science, which would be great. And we got a lot of great feedback, a lot of interesting classes that I wouldn't have thought of, which we hopefully will be presenting in July.
Yep.
Now they have a bit more time, not sending an email an hour before the meeting. But like she's saying about foreign languages, French was a big one.
Awesome. I'd like to say we've done a 4,000% increase in the amount of student feedback to the board this year. So we'll continue that. And these guys have been just trailblazers in helping us say, what information do you want to share?
So one piece of advice to you guys, the seniors, think about this. When you go to college, if you take one course per term in a foreign language, by the end of your 4 years, just one, you will be well qualified for a minor in a language. It's just one class. That's all you got to do each time. Slow building on itself, and suddenly you're credentialed in the second language. And God knows you have plenty of time for credentials.
You bet I do. Thanks. That's cool information.
So look for a report. We're thinking of doing at our July work session of a report on which classes they found from students that they'd like to see the school at least look at. Could we add those? So
Just for that associate science degree or any?
what did you guys look?
Overall.
Overall.
Electives and all core classes.
Yeah, should be interesting. All right. Any other?
Fun to have you guys. Thank you for being here most of the time. Thank you for coming today.
Veteran.
And then thank you for just filling in at that very last minute. You did phenomenal.
And I'm hoping, because it's already too late since you guys are gone, that you've talked to your successors.
Right.
And they'll be participating like you guys have, because it's been great having student representation here.
Yeah, it's been huge. It's been huge.
Hey, let's give them a round of applause. You're officially free from the Crook County School District.
July.
Joel, do we have a GMH representative on the student voice group?
You know, we haven't yet, but we've been trying with Pioneer. I think that's a good next improvement step, is to get our non-traditional schools. So yeah, actually Sean's son will be a senior next year, and he's actually probably been at GMH longer than anyone. So that'd be a good person to have.
Important to have that voice.
Yeah. Madam Chair, it's all for me.
Okay, well, thank you, sir. All right, moving to 5.0, other agency reports for our ALO Charter Board report. We have Dr. Lauren Nordquist. Good evening.
Hi. I'm Laura Nordquist. I'm currently the coordinator for alternative learning options in charter schools with High Desert ESD. I was with you all briefly last year sharing our annual evaluation report. I do want to say before I start that it is a delight to present at this meeting. I don't usually say that about school board meetings, but what a wonderful reminder of why we do the work we do. It's been so fun to see these celebrations. I do want to introduce two of our ALO representatives who are here today. Tammy Bainey, who is the executive director of the Central Oregon Intergovernmental Council, and Chris Schofield, who's the education manager at COIC. I don't have a lot to share. I do want to talk about a couple of changes related to this report. And then Joel shared some questions that you all had, which that was so exciting because I knew you'd read the report. And I'll answer those. And then Chris and Tammy can also jump in if there's anything that related to COIC's work program that you want to ask about. One change that, of course, you're all very well aware of is Pal Butte Community Charter School will no longer be a charter school. I know they're excited. I've worked really closely with them the last couple years, and Meredith Foley, their amazing leader, is excited and of course a little nervous, but we're excited to continue to work together. So that'll be fun. And then the other thing I wanted to share, last year I had mentioned the Heart of Oregon Corps as coming on as a state recognized alternative learning option. They went through the application process this spring, and they received in May their approval as a state approved ALO, and they're excited about some really great developments in their program. If you've noticed the construction going on by the Opportunity Foundation as you go into Redmond, they will open in September a beautiful new classroom building. They've got work programs going on in their big, beautiful new building. And they're having a celebration out here the 19th of June. I know I'll be out here for that. Housing, yeah, that the students are working on. So that's exciting. The questions that you submitted, first, an apology from me. Someone asked on the COIC program, there was a missing check mark on whether the program met all the standards on page 16 of the report. I apologize for that. I just missed that. The block underneath that certifies that they have met all the standards. I assure you that they did. And then there was a question about COIC's work program and the number of students who had diplomas or got GEDs in the program. And Chris and I were communicating today. Just a reminder that the academic part of that program is actually Pioneer's program. So Pioneer manages all the academic aspects, and COIC does the housed at Pioneer. And of course, they work really closely together, but they don't do the academic part of that program. So that might be a good question for Michelle Jonas. And then the last question was asking confirmation that in fact, this year there was just one student who participated in the Heart of Oregon program. That's correct. That student is still in the program. And if you notice for Heart of Oregon's report, they don't have Appendix B because that student is not finished with the program. So we have no outcomes yet for that student. I'm not sure if it's this summer that the student will finish that Heart of Oregon.
Thank you.
Questions for me or questions for Chris from COIC?
I don't have a question, but I have an observation, which is what we are experiencing in this district right now. You've heard Rich mention that with wait lists that are growing at GMH, is a lot of students and families finding their way to us because traditional schools have not worked for them.
Yep.
They're hearing things about our community. They're hearing about our willingness to serve, our different avenues. That pace is accelerating because as our schools around the state are having to cut their budgets deeply, some of their alternative programs are the first thing to get rolled back. We're
Yep.
not cutting ours. So I think programs like yours, that you evaluated, programs like COIC are gonna be more and more and more important to us because a lot of those students are coming to us and need an alternative in order for them to succeed.
That's
They need to
right.
succeed for the first time in their career. And frankly, this is part of our space management solution, is being able to have a multitude of places and a multitude of learning environments, because we can't possibly house them all in the classrooms with our current facility. So I think you're just gonna be one of our biggest, dearest partners in years to come. And I wish you every success along the way. And the board, I'll speak for myself, as one board member, I'm more than willing to reach out and handshake with you and see what we can do to grow those opportunities. You're critical to our future success.
Absolutely. And I can't remember if I shared with this board last year, but what we know nationally is between the ages of 16 and 24 nationally, approximately 11% of the youth in that age range are neither attending school nor working. Now that's a disaster. I mean, that's an economic, ethical, I mean, it's a disaster on every level. And so you're exactly right, Scott, that alternative programming and more flexible programming, those things are absolutely critical. And one of the joys that I've had in working with ALOs is that the staffs are so mission driven. Often they make less than K-12 teachers, and many of the staff have all the qualifications to work in K-12 settings, but they love that environment because they're serving kids who really need them. And you see just phenomenal and close relationships between students and staff. And then that opportunity to work, to get paid, to learn skills. Often will help them finish the educational part, even if their heart's not in the educational part, but having it connected to work programs is just fantastic. And I think Pioneer and the COIC program are a model. I mean, those two, your own district program working hand in hand with COIC, it's really, really great to see.
I did notice on accomplishments, and this is, it may be in some of the credit recovery but Matt worked with our CTE director, Ryan Cochran, this year on the fire certification. And it was wonderful. I don't want to speak for Ryan, but I have and talked to him. I think there was 17 kids. They all completed, they all earned their certificate, they all earned a paycheck. I've heard so far that 2 of them have gotten jobs this summer. And we want to continue that really bad. And Matt did a wonderful job getting and Ryan getting the Forest Service and BLM and state and everybody together. And the folks from the Forest Service and BLM were wonderful. I attended one class, and immediately they got the kids interested, which was pictures of fire, pictures of fire. This is what you're gonna, so it was a really wonderful, I hope it continues. Let Matt know he did a wonderful job, for sure.
We'll pass that along.
Yeah. And Laura, by the way, you probably, when I was managing that program, you're right about the teachers and staff as far as salaries go. And in fact, you stole several of my good teachers at Fenelon, and Cook County has stole several of my.
Yeah.
So yeah, no,
Right.
yeah, there's everything I could do to try to get them to stay.
Yeah. And,
But,
that, some of that gap has,
yes, I think it has.
diminished, but it's,
Yeah.
they're
It
staying,
is
a
tough,
lot of them are
But
staying
there's
because they're.
still really, really good teachers.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. How is your funding going? I know you've had to, back from when I was there, you've really expanded into or had to expand and reach out for different grants. I'm sure it's a yearly issue. How's it looking?
So we are entirely grant and contract funded, and so our job and role really is to be what the region needs. So we will ebb and flow because our job and our role is not to be what we need, here to complement. And I think Crook County School District is a perfect example. When you wanted to move away from the education piece and you wanted to move into the work crews and being able to have a paycheck and a plan and, the mentoring and all of the different things. That is good for us because we want to be what it is that you need, not because we want to be in your community provide service that you may not see that's relevant. But on the flip side, if there is an opportunity where you do see that something has changed or maybe the landscape is changing, it's our job to then figure out how do we get the funding to complement what you can provide also, so we can partner in what it is that your district and your students need. So the other piece is that a lot of what we can do in some of our programming is to capture the students that have aged out.
Yeah.
And so particularly in Redmond, with the Redmond School District, we do a lot there for the students that are 19, 20, 21. And so as long as they can, we capture them within that academic year and they turn 21 within that year, we can continue to serve them and be able to get them across that finish line. So, and at the same time, you get to keep 20%. And
The districts
provide
can
that service
continue to
at
claim
50%
ADM on those students.
of the dollar. So it's, we're also, financially, we see that as a really strong partnership in being able to complement what it is that you need when you need it. So thank you.
Yep. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention Jeff and Joe over there too.
Yeah,
They've
they're
done
wonderful.
really, really nicely with that staff.
Yeah.
Um,
And they're just cool.
yeah, yeah, they're invaluable.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
We will not see Laura presenting the ALO report next year because she's on our consent agenda to be our interim spec director. So you'll see.
Yeah, you'll see more of me. They're related.
Yes. Yes, so we're excited to have Laura join.
I'm very.
There you go, Kevin, steal them back.
I know. You're right. Steal them back. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Okay, 6.0, the approval of the consent agenda.
Chairman, I move to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion to approve and a second on the consent agenda. Do we have any further discussion? Okay, let's vote. Scott,
Yes.
Eric,
Yes.
Kelsey,
Yes.
Kevin,
Yes.
and yes as well. Thank you. All right, 7.0, the finance report. Miss Anna Logan.
Finance report is a pretty, I know there's a lot of pages to flip before you get to the finance report. I do want to start on page 3, like I normally do. And point out in our general fund, if you look at line 8 under federal forest fees, that was one that I had budgeted somewhat low because we didn't know what would happen with those. And we ended up getting 2 years worth of forest fees, and I've been projecting those throughout the year. We've actually, so what you see now, that 501,000 is actual receipts, so that's a final number. That puts it at 326,000 over budget. So what that does for us is if you move down to line 10, it helps us to not have to transfer in money from the PERS reserve just to make the general fund work.
Wow, that's like wonderful.
Yeah, so that's great. And again, these are all projections. June is our biggest month as far as expenditures go, so things could change, but that's my projection right now. And then another thing I want to point out is line 6. This is going to be important on agenda topic 7.3 later. You've seen this all year. This is sort of related, it's related to forest fees, but it's not forest fee revenue. It's from 3 years, several years ago, that ODE was considering forest fees as local revenue and therefore decreasing our state school fund. Once they figured it out, they calculated how much they owed back. We got that all in one lump sum. And so all year I've been projecting that that would be transferred out of the general fund to somewhere else. So that's where that money, when I refer back, that's what that is talking about. And that's everything I had to present tonight on the finance report. Does anybody have any questions?
Good deal.
7.2. Soon release or purchase modular building.
Yes, this is the purchase of a modular building proposal. And I like to start out and say, we all know that modular buildings are not ideal. None of us set out saying, let's make this a grand plan. But we're in a situation where there is a modular building out at Pal Butte that is being leased by Pal Butte Community Charter School. It's in use, it's a nice building. And so in order to keep operations at Pal Butte the same as they are now, our school district would need to either assume the lease on that building, or we could purchase the building. Because we had set aside funds in the maintenance reserve for a prior project that came in under budget, we have the funds that we could purchase the building, and then we wouldn't have to worry about the operating expenditure every year of having that lease. The return of investment on that would be about 6.5 years. But we've been talking about doing something with Pal Butte School for at least 6 years, so. Buildings are the most expensive things that we have to, if we were to just build onto the Pal Butte School, which someday I hope we do. That's gonna take a bond. That's a lot of money. And so we just don't know how long that's gonna take. And so that's why, Leland and I looked at this. We decided to go ahead and do an invitation to bid to see what kind of, responses we would get. And we ended up getting a response from the current
owner of that modular building for about 219,000 and some change. And so we're recommending that we go ahead and just purchase the building. If you don't like the idea of purchasing the building, then we would just need you to approve the expenditure for the lease. Either way, we need to have some expenditure approved by the board.
What's the lease?
Well, it's, how much is it? It's an unknown amount because it's $2,300 a month, but then what is your times what? We don't know. So we would just have to say, yeah, so we would just have to say in excess of 150,000.
So, and how old is the modular?
4 or 5 years old.
Do we know what the cost was new or have an assessed value of it now?
New one today, it'd be over 600,000.
Okay.
Over 600, as he said.
And if we did, let's say before that return on investment point in time, if we were to do something where we were to build onto the school or do something where we didn't need that mod anymore, it's in good enough shape that we could use it in some other way. So that's I mean, it's not like it's just wasted money.
So there's probably no future in which we get rid of the modular, but
There will be someday.
but like, I'm just saying in the like. Not gonna remodel it out or.
No. And the nice thing about owning it too is if we decide we wanted to do something with the building, we couldn't do that necessarily easily if we just space. Like build onto it or, I don't know. You can't, it's not like you can put a second story on it or anything.
Is that 2,300 flat line forever, or does that estimate?
You've not looked at the lease document. You know,
I have worked with them the last couple of years, Scott, and they continue to say, it's fine, it's fine. There's nothing in writing that says that it cannot.
And what did it score out in the condition before?
Oh, that's
It's in good shape. It's in very good shape.
Is this one of the newer ones?
It's like, it was brand new, about it. The tail end of COVID thinking we're gonna continue to need social distance. It's the whole thing. Students and, so. It's in very good shape.
Okay.
How many classrooms do you have?
2 whole classrooms.
So it's decent square footage.
It is. It's lovely, actually, and students use it every single day. It is a dry mod. Onto the back.
That's what my next question was. It's a what? It's dry, it doesn't need that.
No plumbing.
Oh,
Madam Chairman, just to kick things off, I move to approve the purchase of a modular building for new campus up to $250,000.
Second.
That doesn't mean there's not room for more discussion, but
so we have a motion and a second on the table to approve the purchase of the modular building in Powview up to $250,000. Do we have further discussion?
Yes.
Right here.
What's our? As far as capacity goes, what does this modular do for Powview? Is it absolutely necessary for capacity, and are you anticipating needs for it?
Yes, at this time especially. The basement flooded last week with the storm, so all my educational assistants need to not go back to the basement ever. So I'm displacing, everyone's been displaced. So the mod is very vital to continue programming. Of course, we can make do, but we'd really love to have it.
One other element of that as well is, the district's putting in a new drain field, so that would actually increase the capacity that we can have at Powview, so classroom space would be adequate.
Okay, do we have further discussion? Okay, let's go ahead and vote. Kevin,
Yes.
Kelsey,
Yes.
Eric,
Yes.
Scott,
yes.
and yes as well. Thank you, Anna, for that. Thank you. Okay, 7.3, appropriations transfer.
So this, I've noted throughout the year and tonight that, we have the one-time funds from OPE. That need to be transferred into another fund. This
budget adjustment that I'm proposing would allow that transfer to happen. Then there's a possibility, not sure, but there's a possibility that there may be a small unplanned surplus in the general fund as well. And if that were to happen, I want the budget to be prepared to be able to move that to somewhere where we can start to use it, be prepared for the future next couple of years that are gonna be tough. So the resolution just changes the budget itself. So if you were to adopt that resolution, it would change the budget. And then the actual transfers, I'm asking the board to specifically, approve the $756,589, that specific number for the forest fees into the capital reserve. Transfers between funds don't always require board approval, but what I would like to do is have the board restrict and designate that as capital reserve money. So that it's in a fund and there's no other money in the capital reserve. We used to have a capital reserve. And when we sold Ochico Elementary, we put the money from that in the capital reserve. And then whenever we sold major assets and things, we put that, and that's all gone now. So the motion would be a two-part. It would be to adopt the resolution and then also to transfer that amount of money from the general fund to capital reserve fund.
Say that, what's the number again?
756,589.
56589. We want that plus resolution number 5.
Yes.
Chairman, I move to adopt resolution number 5 and transfer the amount of $756,589 to the capital reserve fund.
Second. Okay, we have a motion and a second to adopt the resolution number 5, 2025-26, and to transfer $756,589 from the general fund to the capital reserve fund. Do we have further discussion? Okay, let's vote. Scott?
Yes.
Eric?
Yes.
Kelsey?
Yes.
Kevin?
Yes.
And yes as well. Thank you, Anna.
This is called Anna Magic and why we never run out of money.
Right? Things happen. Adopting the budget.
We have 3 resolutions for budget adoption. This is the annual budget process. The first resolution is resolution number 6. That's just a simple adopting the budget in the grand total amount. The second resolution is appropriating funds within specific categories within specific funds. So that says, for example, in the general fund, function 1000, there's a dollar amount there. And so all of those are laid out. Then the third one is resolution 8, and that is imposing and categorizing taxes. There are 2 types of taxes that we impose. The first is just the general fund. It's a flat rate and it's been that way forever and it can never change. Then the debt service fund changes every year based on what the general obligation fund principal and interest is for the coming year. So those are the 3 resolutions. You can adopt them individually as a group, or it's also a choice not to adopt.
So a person could just say, Madam Chairman, I move to adopt resolution 6, 7, 8, right?
They surely could.
It could.
And someone could say
That's the
that.
proposed motion.
Somebody could say that, somebody other than.
Madam Chair, I move to adopt resolutions 6, 7, and 8.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to adopt resolutions number 6, 7, and 8 for 2025-26. And we have a second. Do we have further discussion? Okay, let's vote. Kevin?
Yes.
Kelsey?
Yes.
Eric?
Yes.
Scott?
Yes.
And yes as well. Thank you, Miss Anna.
7.7 is the request for board approval of a software expenditure. This is our normal finance software. It's called Visions. It's very complex because school districts are complex and, but normally we don't need to bring this to the board for approval because it's way below the threshold, but we normally only do an annual renewal.
That's perfect.
Okay, so the reason I'm bringing this to the board is because we're getting ready to enter into a new contract for the same exact software. The software is currently hosted by the High Desert ESD on servers that live at the ESD. We're planning to go to a cloud environment where we're actually hosted by the vendor rather than at the ESD. There are a lot of security improvements that come from doing that. And there are a lot of operational efficiencies that come from that. Just not having to do a remote desktop just to get to our finance software every single day. We're very excited about it, but the process of moving to the cloud, we have to sign a 4-year contract with the vendor, and then it has automatic renewals after that. So, the flip side, the good side of that is that it limits the percentage increases that they can do every year. But then the difficult part is that it puts it over that 150,000. And I can't even tell you what that number is because you would have to know how many years in the future you're planning to use the software in order to do that math. So I'm asking the board to approve the expenditure in excess of 150,000 to allow us to move to cloud software.
And on the 4-year term with the annual renewals, so we do the 4 years and then after that, I mean, if we needed to, or we're going to, we can get out of that within the year.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't see us moving to another software very soon at all, because there just aren't very many softwares that work for school districts. There's maybe 3. So they're very big pieces of software. And if that were to happen, it would be something really cool that would have to be vetted by somebody. We probably wouldn't be beta testers on that type of thing. So. Wow.
Madam Chairman, I move to approve an expenditure in excess of $150,000 to allow the district's migration to and continued use of the cloud version of the financial software system currently known as School ERP Pro.
Second.
Okay. We have a motion and a second to approve the expenditure in excess of 150,000 to allow the district's migration to and continue use of the cloud version of the financial software system currently known as School ERP Pro. Do we have further discussion? Okay, Scott?
Yes.
Eric?
Yes.
Kelsey?
Yes.
Kevin?
Yes.
Yes, as well. Thank you, Anna. All right, moving on to 8.0 superintendent update. Mr. Bliss is going to start us off with the summer maintenance projects. Step on up, sir. You are the next contestant.
So before I get into the projects we're gonna do this summer, I just wanted to run through, since we're closing 2026 out, I just wanted to run through real quick all of the projects that we completed last fiscal year. And these don't include all the reactive work orders that come in constantly every day. So we did a lot of always do annual preventive maintenance, which is boiler inspections, heat pump maintenance, maintenance on the lift stations. We did a lot of parking lot and curb painting, some crack sealing. We did an interior remodel in the facilities building and put a new floor down, painted a couple rooms so it looks a little bit nicer when you first walk in. We rebuilt steam pumps at the middle school, Crooked River, Steens Pillar, and Powell Butte. We did annual bleacher inspections and maintenance. We replaced a roof on one of the Paulina modulars. We did a heater installation in the furnace room at Paulina. Every 5 years, we're required to do some seismic testing on our elevators, and that took place last year. We completed the PA system installs district-wide last year. We did major glass upgrades to improve a lot of strategic places with some ballistic film. We did numerous whiteboard upgrades, which we're going to do more of those this year. I didn't put it on the list, but we're doing more of those. We built a new deck on the Teach-Reach at Paulina. We created a new office for the SRO at Crooked River. There was the student store upgrade. I already got that. I already talked about the Paulina mod roof. We installed new fire tubes on boiler number 1 at the middle school, and that boiler ran like a top all year. And the really cool thing about it is Energy Trust and Senate Bill 1149 funds paid for the entire thing.
So it's on the list to do boiler 2 and 3 this year. And the Energy Trust is already involved, so hopefully it kind of comes out the same way that they'll pay for everything. We had to put a new roof on part of the facility shop, and in the process of that, we found a bunch of structural issues that we had to go back and have a contractor come in and actually do a bunch of support so the roof didn't cave in.
He laughs.
It's in good now. We did an infrastructure installation over at transportation so that we could put a new washer and dryer in there. And at the same time, we added a sink upstairs. We added a new sidewalk, both at Steens Pillar and Crooked River. We had some tree damage where a tree blew over out at the land lab. That got taken care of. That was an insurance claim. We created a room at Barnes, a seclusion room up at Barnes Butte. We did some stadium renovations. I think a lot of people probably saw the pictures of that, all the new lockers and the new paint and everything that we did in the stadium. And then at Steens Pillar, we actually added some new siding on the back of the gym. So that's last year. Do you guys have any questions about any of those? I went through them real fast, but. All right.
You put new parking bumpers at Crooked River too, didn't you?
We did. I forgot that one. There's probably a bunch of them that I forgot.
I park there every day. I saw them installing.
Did you get them?
Yeah.
Well, so Joe was over there one day and he told me he almost ran over a piece of rebar that was sticking up about that far out of the ground. So yeah, we just ordered them all up, and we had CYC kids. They actually did the work. They just put them out, set them. Okay, so for this summer coming up, so district-wide projects, we are upgrading outside lighting. We're upgrading inside lighting so that everything is going to be LED. We're doing numerous painting projects. We are going to start on a major key and lock upgrade. There are a lot of keys out there in the world that people have not turned in over the years. And it's been like at least 30 years since that was done. So we bought software to help manage it. We're going to try and rekey every single lock in the entire district. We're going to be replacing numerous heating coils and valves where we found leaks. And then we're doing some steam trap upgrades, which is another Energy Trust project. At Crooked River, we are doing a restroom remodel, which was started last year, and due to some logistical issues, we weren't able to get all the product to do it. So that's going to continue. Hopefully we'll have that done in the next few weeks. And then Crooked River, they're getting a new, one of the exterior door, the storefront exterior doors, it's totally shot. So they're getting a new one of those. And then at the middle school, there's the wrestling room. So that building is due to actually start on, did I say the 22nd? Or the 15th? 15th. Yeah. So the building's supposed to be here. They're going to start grubbing the ground and doing the ground dirt work on the 15th.
Oh, we're actually gonna go to June.
Yeah. So, yeah, 2 weeks.
The financing raised for that?
Yep.
Awesome.
We're doing the boiler number 2 and number 3 fire tube replacement, and then the middle school, the front doors at the middle school, those are getting replaced this summer too. Those doors are really unique because the panic hardware that's on them doesn't match anything else in the district, and it's problematic. A lot of times that door just won't close, so it's getting new doors, and the panic hardware will match everything that we already have out there. Pal Butte is getting a secure vestibule. We're going to completely sand down their gym floor and repaint it. They're getting a new septic system. So we had a pre-bid meeting on that today. So that project's kicked off now, and they're getting some underground irrigation installed. We've installed part of it already, but we kind of had to stop because the septic system's kind of in the way, and we don't want to mesh the two. So we're pausing on the irrigation while we get the wastewater in, then we'll finish the irrigation. At the high school, we're doing the fire alarm replacement. At Steens Pillar, there's some doors that are not really secure doors. I don't like them. They're just flimsy doors. We're going to be replacing those this summer and actually walling those in and may have to reroute somebody out of a room so that we can do that. And then Barnes Butte, the sports fields up there. So we're trying to get that project done. So it was brought to the district as a volunteer project, but we're really trying to, I'm gonna get bids to actually do the grading work on the fields now. And we already kind of know what we need for irrigation. So if it's economical, we're just gonna go ahead and try and do that project.
What happened to the other option?
The volunteers.
Yeah,
So the thing about volunteer projects is you can't control those
right.
workers. So, you know, if you were, yeah,
On that
yeah.
one, there was, eight windows when the people that are volunteering have the equipment there. And we
right.
missed one of those windows.
Okay,
So now we're trying to catch up. and figure
okay,
out how
that's
to
what I
do
thought.
Yeah.
So that
The
was the
equipment
biggest
Going
thing
to be up
was-
there at some point, and that's
Yeah.
when it was going to be done.
Yeah.
They were still, there's, last time I talked to that particular contractor, they were like, yeah, next time we get something up in that area, we can do that work. But if we could do it faster and it's actually reasonably priced, we could just do it ourselves. But we'll see how that comes out. I don't have those bid yet.
On the Barnesby Fields, we still have, Parks and Recs willing to kick in some funds. Meta already donated some funds to our CT program that we can use to have the students do the work. So there's still a number of community partners. It's just, when it's then pull them all together with volunteer work is tricky.
Surely we have somebody from Baker Technical that just graduated and has their heavy duty operating
I
license,
don't know
right?
if anyone has their grading. machine.
Yeah.
All the grading machines, I
I
think,
did.
but.
Right. Surely that should be something.
Thanks. As far as those fields go, is the plan ultimately to fence them all in so they'd be part of the Barnesview campus as well? And
I
like a
haven't-
separation?
I have not thought about doing that yet because the original like conceptual type drawing that we had it more as like a public
Yeah.
use fields with a parking lot. And if, I mean, I think there's already a man gate over there so that kids could actually go out into that. Fencing's really expensive. I mean, you're probably talking another $60,000 or $70,000 worth of steel just for the fencing. So haven't really thought about that yet.
I just wasn't sure because I know we've got that model with the Crooked River and the middle school and the high school, even where they've got fields that are public access, but also fenced.
So that was my list. Do you guys have questions?
Great list.
Hey, two things to add that on the security part, and this falls under technology. We're adding a camera to the parking lot at the high school, which you guys have heard, as well as adding a camera, working on all elementary recesses. That's where a lot of issues happen. So I'm looking to make sure that we have good coverage of elementary recesses on the camera. So Eric's working on that.
And when we do those storefronts, and there's like 3 of those projects with doors, Eric and I have kind of collaborated on getting a contractor to actually come in and do a lot of some of the work that he wants to get done at the same time that we do those door projects too.
Do we have a camera on the tennis courts?
No.
That's the one they use. The closest camera is on the high school.
So if you put that camera there I remember that was asked for the parking lot. You can put one pointing the other direction and get the tennis courts too.
Yeah, Eric's looking, I think, getting bids right
Because
now.
there's the potential for vandalism and damage out there.
for sure.
Look at both, it would be helpful if it was.
Yes.
It'll be a 4 lens camera, so we can independently choose where those lenses go.
Good call.
Wow. That's quite the list. Thank you, sir.
Sure thing.
Appreciate it.
You act like somebody who's getting ready to retire.
He's trying to get it all done now.
Yeah, exactly.
8.2 family survey results. Dr. Hawk.
I'm back.
You're
We did our end of year family survey, a lot of positive news. So we started off last year. We had a total of 123 family responses. We had some great feedback, but we all questioned only 123 families. Is that really statistically significant? What can you do with that? So Dr. Van Roque and I really set out with our principals to boost that percentage. And we did. We got a total of 350 responses this year. We got a good representation of all grade levels. We have to give it to our kindergarten families this year. They won the prize for the most responses. And then Barnes Butte Elementary. I told the principal of the school that got the most, I would buy them a burrito. I owe Nick, no nachos. I owe Nick Gilbertson a burrito now. Big credit. This was Dr. Van Rokel's idea. Where families could just, as they're doing drop off and pickup, where they could just take their phones, scan it while they're waiting and take the survey. So we were able to boost that percentage up. Because we've got around, I think it was around 12% of representation of families with that many surveys. So statistically, it's significantly, I think, to like the 96 confidence level. So the data is something that we can generalize to the broader population. So our celebrations, I don't know why, I just loved that picture of, I think that's the 100th day of school where they all dress up like they're 100 years old. So I'll go through just some of our celebrations. So the question, I feel welcome, respected, and valued as a partner in my students' education. If you look at the dark green, that strongly agree, and the green is agree. So that made up 86.5% of respondents said that they strongly agree or agree with that. We had 8% neutral, and then only 4.8% said they didn't feel welcome when they came to school. We do have a separate Spanish language survey. And 100% of those that responded, 12 out of 12 of our Spanish speaking families said that they felt welcome in our school. We also know that we have more than 12 Spanish speaking families. They've said that they also, some of them take the English survey. So another celebration, this was a big push from the board as part of our board goals, was communicating. So the question, the school communicated important events and information effectively. 87.1% of families agreed with that statement. We had 9% neutral, and only 3.7% said they disagreed with that we communicated effectively. So that was a big celebration there. This is my favorite one. So if I had a concern, it was addressed by staff in a timely, appropriate, and professional manner. So these are people, we removed those that said not applicable. So these are people that had a problem, and whether it was addressed with professionally, 83%. So 4 out of 5 families that had an issue said that our staff dealt with it appropriately and professionally, while only 6% disagreed with that. So credit to our administrators for getting right on problems, working with families, coming up with resolutions that work. And then our last celebration, this was actually kind of a surprise positive that one of the things we really looked at as part of our, I believe it was our Building Bridges Committee, was, okay, we're doing a great job communicating on events, but how are we doing communicating on how my kid's doing academically? So we had this question, the school kept me informed about my students' academic progress. 87.1% of families agreed with that, and we only had 5.2% disagree. So that's something we're going to continue to build on and focus on next year, is that academic communication to families. This is my favorite one. I got a lot of favorite ones.
If given the opportunity, would you recommend?
Sorry, hold on.
All right. If given the opportunity, would you recommend your student's school to another parent? That's 91.4% of our families would recommend their schools to another parent, with only 8.6 saying they wouldn't. It's not a direct match, but I try to say, like, how does that match up overall? So in 2025 Gallup polls, they asked the average for parents satisfied with their child's education was at 74%. So somewhat comparable. I think it's not an exact match, but I think it's something we can be really proud of, that we're creating an educational product that families really like and would tell their neighbor about. I brought back the little kids again. Improvement targets, a couple ones. This is a thorn in my side for decades. The quality and variety of school meals met expectations. We only had 48.3. This was our lowest rated by far. Agreed with that. A lot of neutral. So 1 and 3 were kind of neutral to that. And then we had 18% disagree. So that's a picture. Scott and I went and had lunch at every single school. I do believe, and I say this every year, I do believe part of this is parents' reflection and memory of school lunches. We do have fresh salad bars, fresh food every day. What we're going to work at is, I met with Jordan, Denny's replacement. We're going to every month feature our meal on social media and kind of do a marketing campaign. So we'll do that. His experience is in the private sector. So he's going to look at the menu, see what we can do to kind of try to get innovative with our food items, but it's something we'll continue to work on.
Do we have a student advisory group that gives us feedback on the meals?
You know, he actually said when we talked today, he said, I encouraged him to start collecting data at what meals are kids saying they really like and what meals aren't. So that way we get rid of the meals that students just
Or
aren't.
just stand there and look at the trash can?
Yeah,
Helps a lot.
yeah.
What's in it?
Jordan Zapita, will also be here. We're gonna have him present in October to the board on the school meals. I don't think we've done a school meals presentation to the board as well. So, we have that lined up for October as well. But yeah, getting feedback makes a ton of sense. So yeah, we'll keep hammering away at this one. And guys, Scott was the only one that took me up on my meal invitation. So, if you would like to try the meals,
Fight for nachos.
always every Tuesday.
Get lunch during the day.
I've gone to Crook River several times.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's one of the young men that did the Pledge of Allegiance ate 6 cheeseburgers.
Allowed to do that, but yeah.
Well, other kids kept giving them one of theirs because he was trying to set a record.
He was maybe the strongly agrees on.
Oh.
Mr. Bradley, my observation would be from my visit, that if Dr. Hoff could have eaten 6 cheeseburgers. Now wait a minute. The cafeteria ladies wouldn't give them.
I cut them off somewhere.
Great.
Hey, here's our next, and these results actually are pretty good. The school provided effective support services such as counseling, special ed, or behavior support when needed. It was a little on a lower end of our questions, only 72.4% of our folks agreed with that. We had again a large section of neutral, which I think might be those that's just maybe not applicable that weren't sure, but that's something we'll continue to focus on, are those support services. And then our last one, and this is actually pretty high, but I want to have this be one of our big focuses for next year. So I want to keep it at the forefront, is my student was appropriately supported and challenged in their academic learning. I feel this is the core of our business as a school district. So 82% of our families agreed with that. Again, a large neutral section, and then 5.4 disagreed. So that's something that I think we want to, an indicator we really want to watch, because we want to be pushing academics. Just some, there was an open-ended theme. So what were the positives? Again, I was so encouraged by this because we were really focused with our admin team on communication this year, and it showed. So the number one positive theme from parents was the communication from the schools and the district. They loved the staff quality and support, student engagement, all the different, and we heard this from our students, all the different options, the CTE, the clubs, having a safe and welcoming environment. And then as well as they love the family and community involvement, particularly our elementary schools. What they said we need to work on, communication. So it's funny, communication was the top of both strengths. But the communication piece, and this particularly was at our secondary schools, was we have some of our middle school, high school teachers communicating really well and some not. So we're really gonna drill into what are the expectations for teachers on communication. It's harder at the high school level, as you can think they have 5 classes of 30 kids, so it's 150 kids rather than 30. So figuring out what makes sense and how we can support our teachers in those kind of systems. Student support and safety is always a thing that we can work on, and something our parents encourage us to keep our focus on. Nutrition and wellness, this correlated with our food that I'm excited for you all to try with me next year. And then again, facilities and logistics, something we got to continue to work on. We know that our buildings are aging. We're working on that superintendent committee to look at what makes the most sense for a bond from the district. Last slide, our next steps. Every year we take this and we disaggregate it by each school and each department. So every principal gets their report on their results. We develop improvement plans as part of our August retreat with our principals. We'll share these results with staff and families. It's always really important if we ask for people's feedback. We say, here's what you told us. So we'll get that out this week. And then obviously there's a ton of positive results in this. So celebrating the positive work of our staff. Any questions on the surveys?
I have a question, I have an observation for you to think about for next year. First of all, let me say, all this green is amazing and wonderful, and congratulations on having achieved those goals. Do you think maybe there's some room for some editing of these questions?
Yeah.
In that you have, I mean, the question, for example, my student was appropriately supported and challenged in their academic learning. For the disagreeing group, are they unhappy with support or challenge? You can't tell.
Yeah.
And throughout these questions, we have series of 2 and 3 words where you want to dig in, but you can't tell. So maybe a solution is to not change the question, but to have a drop down question when you answer no, explain which element was not working. Something to give us a little more feedback so we can continue to fix.
Yeah, really good idea.
Negatives. Or pick your topic.
Yes, we did, and that was, you pros and cons. We had, I think, 20 questions last year when we used AI to kind of consolidate. So it was nice because I think that helped shorten the survey, but then, yeah, you lack that deeper detail on that. So that's something we'll definitely look at and focus on.
We should do one more survey.
One more survey. Let's get another survey out there. I was actually, with all the surveying we did this year, to still get 350 was pretty cool. So, yeah.
Parents like to be asked.
Yeah.
8.3, summer programs overview. Mr. Vieira.
Right. Good evening. Talk to you guys a little bit about the summer school programs coming up. We have offerings at every level. I think the first slide talks about elementary. Summer Blast is going to be at Crooked River this year. Usually it's at Barnes Butte. So thank you to Kimberly for hosting us, and then also to Leland for some creative problem solving. Main reason for that is we've had it at Barnes Butte so many years that it just gets dirty and never gets a chance to be cleaned. So Crooked River this year. Dates you can see there, June 29th to July 23rd, 4 days a week, Monday through Thursday, and 8 to 2. And there's the description there. Michelle Gamble is heading up the Elementary Blast. She told me that Summer Blast is our elementary summer learning experience for students entering grades 1 through 5. Each grade uses a thematic unit or storyline to create hands-on experience for students while strengthening priority math and reading standards. And there's engaging activities, making learning fun and meaningful for students, and bringing joy to the teachers. Next one's the middle school. This one's a little different. At the middle school, we're offering 6th grade experience. It's 3 days, Monday through Thursday. July 14th through July 16th, 8:30 to 1:30. And the 6th grade experience basically just prepares the incoming 6th graders for going to 6th grade, gets them acquainted with the school and kind of how the middle school works. Next at the high school, we have 2 different offerings. First one is the freshman experience, and we're doing it for 2 weeks this year, June 29th to July 9th, Monday through Thursday. And then the second one is credit recovery, and that runs the whole time, June 29th to July 23rd. And that's basically just a chance for students to make up credits. That's the overview. What questions do you guys have on summer programs?
Middle school one, is that Monday through Thursday, or is it?
No, it's a typo. It's just 3 days. So, yeah.
Wednesday.
That's all right. Number of students that will participate.
Right now at the elementary, we're at 345-ish.
Out of how many?
That's what we'll have for the elementary, probably.
Out of how many elementary
Oh.
schools?
Probably 1,000.
Yeah.
We only have 1,000 elementary schools.
1,200 maybe? Yeah. Probably 1,300. So you got 550 at both the big Crook River and Barnes Butte. You got 260, 1,500, and then the rural schools, GMH. Yeah, so maybe like 1,400.
And how many middle school, high school students?
6th grade experience, we're close to 100 right now. So 6th grade class is probably, 200-ish. High school, we're looking to get more. Freshman experience is close to 35, and then credit recovery will be around 20 to 25.
One thing they're doing that I'm super proud of, Jason Mum's running that, and he's individually calling every 8th grade parent to personally invite them to the freshman experience. And it aligns with the board goal around transitions. So thought, how cool would it be if you were an 8th grade parent nervous about high school, someone personally calls you and invites you. So big credit to Jason Mum on that.
Last summer for freshmen, we had about 100 for the freshman experience. So hopefully we get a late increase.
I just to ask, because I remember what we were doing in the post-COVID, immediately post-COVID years, and the massive public or summer schools we were putting on. The state of Oregon, you know, who knows what its policy is on K-12, but if you want to make a difference in performance on test scores, putting some money into year-round school would be a lot better than increasing the ADM and fighting about that. Go out there and get those kids in a position where they can pick up what they didn't have and give every kid that opportunity. Imagine what would happen. And I hope you all took the OSBA survey that was mailed out this week. I didn't have very nice things to say. I encourage you not to have any nice things to say.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's on my back of my head too is, I mean, because we did some of the really rough analysis that the elementary school kids experienced significantly less of that summer slide for their reading, and so we know it works, and so I think next year being more intentional about that, and especially like middle school math, like that would be a dream come true to see some kind of like middle school math program go through. Yeah.
We do have maximums for these programs though, too, don't we? But I'm under the impression I've never actually seen them hit it, but we've always been told, if you enroll your child, then there's a chance that a child that needs it more will take their spot and they won't have room.
A real interesting dilemma, Scott, on your point about the summer funding is there was a big summer grant. Dr. Van Rokel put an application in, and we missed it by, I think, 5 spots. And it's because the equation, our academic data was too good. It hurt us. Where the money is going.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
Yeah, the money is going to schools that aren't seeing the results we are. So we're actually kind of getting penalized for our positive academic results.
The year immediately after COVID, we did the big summer school. My recollection is about 2/3 of our students were enrolled in that year. So we can manage the numbers to have resources.
Yeah, it is up there, but yeah, the district's fully funding it ourselves at this point. And I mean, based on funding situation.
You can't cut $4.5 million next year and do that.
Exactly. So that's something that's going to be a real hard conversation for us is, this is a huge, not only growing in academics, but a huge service for families.
Oh, right. My boys love going.
Yeah.
They think it's wow.
Yeah, so.
Maybe we should think about summer school instead of cell phone.
It was almost like summer camp.
Yeah, I know. Just sitting there.
I'll take it back to Joe Jumpstart.
Yeah, I forgot to mention kindergarten jumpstart. We have that going at all of our schools, including Cal Butte. It is the first 2 weeks of August, Monday through Thursday, and then we have a staggered start to help with transportation. Barnes Butte being first, then Crooked River, Steens Pillar. So these are for our incoming kindergartners, and I think we're over 100 students for this already combined, signed up. But yeah, same type of goal, just trying to get the kindergartners familiar with the school, and so it's not as hard to transition once they get started. But one of mine in there.
Any other questions outside of James?
My work awesome.
Thank you.
Joe. 8.4 Math and Writing Improvement Plan, Dr.
Good evening. All right, so as we jump into the math and writing improvement planning, this is something that we've talked about this year as we've looked at the board dashboard. It's really grown on me throughout the year that it's given us a great bird's eye view to look at the district, and Joel and I talk about where are the areas we really need to grow. And throughout this year, the conversation has kept coming back to math and writing. And I showed the graph on there of our K-12 writing because that perfectly displays a lack of alignment, and we acknowledge that and we want to fix it. So that's what these plans hope to achieve. So some of the things that we've done some groundwork on is just getting out and talking to all of our principals, talking to our coaches, and pulling together what are our writing prompts, what are our rubrics, what is the process looking like for evaluating writing. And we're seeing that it's different across the district. Obviously by that graph, it's not hard to figure that out. But wanting to know deeply, like, what is it? What are our leaders wanting? How can we encompass that into this plan? Looking at
the frameworks like with math and what's being taught, what are the classes being offered in the middle school, classes being offered in the high school, what's enrollment look like in those. That's something we've been focused on this year. And then we've started even working with some of those math teams on what are the tights, what are the non-negotiables that, like, you know, we're going to do homework once a week. We're going to do tights is what we call them. Yes. Yeah.
Common agreements.
Common agreements would be the more formal way to say it, yes, but we refer to them as tights. So working with each of those teams to set up what are those tights that then as a team will agree to. Really a lot of the base work has been happening. And then the next slides, I'll tell you more about the plans that we have coming. So for math, our goal is to increase OSAS proficiency and growth while expanding the percentage of students successfully completing advanced math pathways.
90%.
Mm-hmm. At 90%. Did you say, yeah? Accomplishing that algebra 2 or higher by the time they're in high school. So that's working significantly from what are the elementary advanced options all the way up to, you know, having students completing AP calculus by the time they're graduating high school to the maximum potential that we can do that. So one of the first things we've been digging into is what does that instruction time for math look like? In the elementary levels, how much time is being spent on core instruction, how much time is being spent on intervention. Research tells us that they need at least 60 minutes of core and 20 minutes of intervention. So making sure that we're meeting those research aligned guidelines at every single one of our school. Again, I talked about working, oh, Kelsey, did you have something? Sorry.
So Bree, I know just thank you for all your work. I know this is probably a representative of like a fraction of a lot of person cheers into this, but one of the things that I know we talked about too was, I know it sounds kind of random, but like busing for kiddos so that they can stay after. Is that something that's still?
We have been working really hard on that with different community partners, and we are always exploring that. That is did you want to say something like that?
For a year, I tried to find grants for people to buy us one of those 18-passenger vans.
Yeah.
But then what the district did last year was instead of we bought a couple big buses, but then we bought 2 Type 20s, which you don't need a CDL to drive, that we could have a teacher or a coach drive. So instead of trying to like put all this effort as finding someone to buy us an 18-passenger van, which I don't think we can use, we now have those. We have, I think, 3 total Type 20s. Sometimes they're used for athletics, but we have and I even got licensed to drive a Type 20.
Oh my gosh.
So we have a lot of staff. So the framework's there. Now it's just identifying the funding.
Yeah. Like a retired person who might want to drive a Type 20 bus?
We actually can't hire, you have to resign. But I like where you're going.
Just, you know, if somebody wanted to.
Yeah. So we've expanded our after-school math club as a piece of this with high schoolers. So that transportation is not as big a barrier for us as it once was. And now we just need to get into high gear and get those afternoon routes going.
That's exciting. Thank you guys for that work.
Yeah.
Maybe not hire, volunteer.
I know, that's what I just.
Volunteer.
Volunteer.
Okay.
I don't think volunteer is not.
Volunteers not.
Yeah, that's right.
Just don't get in a crash. That might get complicated. So.
Oh dear. Middle school, I think you've all heard about the advanced math program in the middle school. We're, you know, getting geometry down to middle school students. I think that's a really great initiative. And then on the other side of that, Marcus is working really hard on students who are below grade level, getting them the curriculum they need to reach grade level before they leave the middle school. And then as Joel mentioned, yes, we're working with having the great thing is high school is still in session when elementary schools are released. So we can use a 5th period peer tutor program to get support to every single elementary school to have some math tutoring, homework club type of setup. We've seen a lot of joy. I know the middle school kids going down to Crook River have loved that. So when we can get older kids helping younger kids, we're really excited about it.
I think they listen better to those age kids than they do to like grandpas, for instance.
I certainly know my own kids do. If I can get a big girl around my Rosie, she's gonna listen. Yeah. So then our writing improvement plan, and this one is more centered around aligning the district. So creating a common goal with the team is where this one has to start, because again, we saw from those numbers that things are really all over the place. So we want to demonstrate writing proficiency for all students as measured by their writing samples on various writing modes throughout the year. And what that looks like is getting into the writing protocols. We're seeing that the middle school chose a very different pathway for assessment than the high school did, obviously with, I think there was 7% versus 94%. That was in how they implemented assessing the students. So we want that to be really clean K-12. The elementaries have those all written out. I think it's just bringing the life back into them a bit. Collaborating on scoring. Pretty common rubrics are being used throughout, but we want to collaborate on making sure those scores are being standardized. Students at the high school actually have asked Joel and I for this, but more focus on conventions and grammar. So we are, one of the things as I dug into this work that's a real strength of the elementaries is that they say, hey, before third grade, we need, you to come to us with, this is a bad example, but capitalization, that's obviously happening earlier. But they really call those things out to their prior grade level. So we want that to happen K-12 because we were hearing from the high school students, they want to know how to use the semicolon better. And we don't want them to get to their doctorate programs like Joel and I did and still be learning that, right? No, we want them to know that upon graduation from high school. And then with that, again, building some of those tights around what are the writing expectations, cross-curricular. So this is something, shout out to Marcus Hayes at the middle school. He's implemented a program called the Claim Evidence Reasoning Strategy. And I've seen it in math classes, I've seen it in health classes, I've seen it in English classes. Across the school, kids are getting this common structure to write their paragraphs in, and they're really beautiful. So we want each building leader to pick something like that for certain grade bands to say, this is our expectation for how we write in this building to create stronger writers. And then we'll be embedding a lot of this work into our professional development plan for next year with opportunities for reviewing the data, refining the process, and checking in with all the people involved to ensure that we're meeting the goal of alignment.
I think pretty what I'd love to see for the writing, what I appreciate about the math is we have this 95% algebra.
It's 5% to the goal.
But anyways, we have like a end goal at the high school of like, hey, the accumulation of this should be here. And I would love to see for the writing to be like, okay, like this is the students who graduate, our school system should have these things, right? And then we can back into these corporate goal level or grade level goals.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Great. So as mentioned, the next steps are really, formalizing what consistency looks like across the board. It is a mix of horizontal and vertical alignment for our district, collaborating with our teams and our leaders. And then as we move through this process next year, being able to implement and refine as we see fit.
Thanks for the work.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I love it. It's exciting. This stuff makes me really excited.
Tangential to this, I wanted to raise, since we're talking about writing ahead. Our little test thing that we did.
Yes.
I challenged Joel, and I want to report this to the board. At a coffee we were having a couple months ago, to go back and test the theory, which I had been hearing out in the community, that our students can't write in cursive and can't read an analog clock. I know that we added this into the curriculum. So the question was, after we teach them this in elementary school, what do they know at the end of middle school? What do they recall? So Joel went out with a test of blank clock faces and times and told kids to fill them in, and a passage of cursive writing and asked them to read it at the 7th and 8th grade levels. And what did you find?
I think we're at 100%. So it was very scientific. So I had 3 clocks, or no, sorry, 6 clocks. And each had a different time. 100% of kids were able to say the time, because you always hear this out in like the grocery store. Kids can't tell time, or kids can't tell change. So it was 100% on that. I went out to, I believe it was a 7th and 8th grade. They call it yard time, but it's when they're done with lunch. They're out.
The recess time.
Yeah, they don't want to call it recess.
Right.
But so 100% of students were able to identify that. I probably went up to, tried to be very random. I went up to probably 20, 30 kids, as some weird random person saying, can you read this clock? And then the cursive thing actually has a deeper meaning to it, where a lot of our primary source historical documents are written in cursive, so it's really important for students to be able to do that. And so I had, I think, three or four different passages, and I can pull it up. And yeah, some of them, you guys know cursive sometimes hard to read if it's like Old English cursive, but yeah, again, high 90% able to achieve that. So I want to continue to do that because I think it's so important that as we hear these random things out of the community that we're saying, actually, no, we've looked into this and here's our data around that. But yeah, it was a fun challenge from Scott, and I just told Marcus I was going to show up and talk
It
to
was
some
a
random
cool
students.
myth bust.
Yeah.
I mean, that,
Oh,
there may
yeah.
be students out there that can't
Yeah.
do that, but
Right.
those are people's grandkids who came from another district, not ours.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bree.
Kudos.
Right. Okay, 8.5, ODE required surveys, Dr. Hoff.
Yes, this is a quick one. So the legislature passed a law at some point that said, Crook County School District and all districts in Oregon, you have to give 2 of our surveys to your students, or you have to make them available. And these these surveys have actually led to very contentious conversations in our district. So in order to be compliant with the law, but also our biggest thing is we're prioritizing student academics, that when we have class time, we want that focused on teaching, reading, writing, math, how to read a clock, cursive. And not just giving these random surveys for the ODE or the Oregon Health Authority. So we also do want to be compliant with the law. So the law says we do have to make them available. This is what we did last time. We let parents know if they have to opt their student in. So if any parent we're doing it this way. So if any parent wants their student to take it, we're not going to default and make kids take it. We're going to make it available. If parents want their students to take these, there's a form on our parent website that they can say, I want my student to take this. We'll figure out a time for them to give it this week, in the next couple of days. But this is just publicly letting know that those are available for any family that wants their student to take it. If they don't fill it out, the student won't take it. So we have complied and made it available to students.
Why would you do opt-in instead of opt-out?
Because if we say opt out, that means everyone takes it without
Know
parent
what the
permission.
word means.
Yeah. So an opt out, that would give it to everyone,
Uh-huh.
where we actually want to spend that class time on teaching academics, not giving ODE surveys. So this means it's only a small percentage of families that want to take, that want their kids to take those surveys. So that makes it more intentional for those families to opt in to take it.
I really strongly disagree with this policy.
Yeah.
This is critical data and the only data we get of teen behavior, and we will be flying blind without it. And this is a bad idea. One of the worst ideas I've heard our administration come up with.
The Oregon Healthy Teen, this is what we've done the last 3 years.
Where?
The Oregon Healthy Teen Survey, we typically get significant pushback from families. So this allows those.
Why we should have an opt-out.
Yeah, so this allows those families to take it, those that want to. We're happy to revisit this next year. But yeah, this is one of those things that we've done this, I want to say 3 years in a row. I don't think we've given the Oregon Healthy Teen Survey I think Dr. Yeka actually stopped it probably 10 years ago after significant community pushback.
We need to get back in the business of getting that data. If parents don't want to take it, they don't have to take it, and they shouldn't have to take it.
Yeah.
But I don't think we should discourage people from taking it. The opt-in is gonna get you such a small number that it's meaningless. Might as well not do it at all.
What is it measuring the survey?
Measuring students' sexual activities, students' drug use, students' behaviors, challenging behaviors that you then respond to that data once you have it. And without it, how do you know? You're just flying off anecdote.
Well, so what would the state do with that data then? Like when you say respond to it?
The state, well, it would be more like a district response or a community response than a state response. But when you've got everybody taking it, you've got a baseline to look at across the state and you see behaviors that are flying up that you might want to be concerned about because they're going to interfere with learning and they're going to interfere with students' forward progress. It is controversial because we find out things people didn't want to know.
We do, because we do want that information, in terms of we do want to know what those, what those issues are for our students. So one thing we do is we work with the health department because we haven't done this in 10 years because it was such a controversial thing for a lot of families. Through it's not called SAD anymore, but it's called, it used to be called Students Against Disruptive Decisions. So they do more of in the schools talking with students so that we're still aware and have kind of a pulse on. But this survey was really, really difficult for a lot of our families and community. I think it also asked on like guns in the house. A lot of families saw it as overly invasive on asking their student personal information, sexual partners, all sorts of things that a lot of families just reported was inappropriate for the school district to be involved in asking, especially that it's going to a state, program. So it's a good topic that we're happy to revisit. But yeah, this was something that we've done this, I want to say the last 3 years, and it's been all right, but definitely something we're willing to come back to.
Remember Ruby Bridges?
Do remember?
Yeah, she was controversial too.
Yeah.
We should never have done that integration in the schools in 1961.
Yeah, on this one, it was more of just community pushback where, yeah, about a decade ago, we stopped giving this.
Have they changed it at all? I mean, has it changed?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay. Pretty sure we're not.
So that is available for families. Any family that does want to give that information, they just fill out that link and we have their kid do the opt-in.
Fair.
Okay. 8.6, hybrid approval status for Helena K-8.
This actually is an action item for our board. So as we talked about through the budget process, we were really focused on increasing enrollment over at Helena. To do that, we identified a number of families. When I met with a teacher, I want to say late last week, 7 different students, families with 7 students have reached out to engage in a potential hybrid model at Helena. In order to offer that officially through the ODE, we have to declare it a supplemental virtual school, which doesn't change anything except it makes it so that they can offer hybrid courses there. So there's just a possible motion to designate it a supplemental virtual school, and then we'll update the ODE and be able to do hybrid instruction there, in addition to the traditional model.
Do we need a comment? I move to approve this. Oh, okay, the board I move to approve the update status of K-8 school with the Oregon Department of Education ODE to supplemental virtual.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the updated status of Planet K-8 school with ODE to supplemental virtual. Do we have any further discussion? Okay, let's vote. Kevin?
Yes.
Kelsey?
Yes.
Eric?
Yes.
Scott?
Yes.
And yes as well, Ms. Tammy. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Huff. Oh, you're still up. Oh, sorry. School board 9.1, July school board work session date.
Yes,
So
our
excited.
June meeting, we always set the July work session dates.
Yes, we do.
Our July board meeting is Monday, the 13th over in Brothers. So at 4 o'clock, remember that, it's always earlier.
Okay, gas people.
So we might want to look at, we typically do it after the July board meeting, so the week of July 20th or the week of July 27th. We'll need to set a date.
So the 20th through the 24th.
Just any day that week, the week after the board meeting is typically.
Right. Unless I haven't got any meeting updates. No, that week is open.
Which week are you looking
The 20th through the 24th. Of July.
at? 20th or 27th, right?
Yeah, any week.
Oh, sorry.
After, yeah.
Okay.
The 27th, I may be on a plane coming home that day, so the 20th would be my preference.
What's your preference? What do you have? Are you open?
Stuff life can handle.
I put later in the week, but we're gonna be Monday, the 20th.
Monday the 20th.
I think so. Let me double check that, but let's pencil it in.
Kevin, are you
Yeah,
good with
that's
that?
6:30.
What time?
Yeah, we could do 6:30. We typically do 2 to 3 hours. So we might want to try 5:30. 5:30 to 8:30. And if we don't need all 3 hours, that would be awesome.
So that's penciled in. I'm assuming we'll get a meeting invite.
Yep, send out calendar invite.
Thank you. Okay, that was easy. Look at that.
Yeah, here at the district office.
Okay. 9.2, scheduling the groundbreaking ceremony for the new wrestling room. Dr. Hot.
Yes. So, we haven't done a groundbreaking in this district probably since we built Pioneer in 2021.
Probably 2022, 2023.
It's been a few years, but we have a wrestling room that we're gonna start doing concrete site work on the 15th. So we're thinking if the board doesn't want to do a groundbreaking, we could set a date and we would meet the donor there and do a groundbreaking for the CCMS wrestling room. So this would be anytime before June 15th. Is that what you're thinking, Leland?
This week.
We could do it before or after.
We'll have more dirt available after.
So maybe after June 15th.
Well, that's pretty open.
So we look at maybe the 22nd would be the next Monday. And this would be probably 5:30 as well.
Sure.
Still light out.
We look at, so June.
So maybe the week of the 22nd, if there's, and again, not every board member needs to attend.
Will there be big scissors involved?
There will be shovels.
Oh, shovel.
Yes.
Oh, I guess that's perfect.
Yeah.
That's a.
Yeah, shovels will do.
When are you thinking?
If Mondays work well for people, Monday, the 22nd at 5:30.
I'll be out that day, so, but I don't have to be there.
I'm not available. But,
I think that works for me.
Kevin?
Don't know if I'll be in town.
Are people around that week or should we try a different week?
And either before that date or after July 4th would
Okay.
work for me.
That's roundup weekend.
Yeah,
So at the end of the week, like.
yeah.
full on.
The 20th, I'm sorry, the 25th.
It's also baseball all-stars weekend,
Oh, that,
Just so
that
you
same
know.
weekend, the 26th, 27th,
the 19th through the 27th.
19th through the 27th? Oh.
I mean, what exactly is involved in organizing this?
This is typically, it would be the board and then the donors, the wrestling coaches, and just, I mean, it really is just ceremonial of groundbreaking.
Sounds
I
like
just wondered if we could do it this Friday.
This Friday,
Well, the kids are still there. That's like. Not quite the. We would-
Well, the
students will be there, yeah.
Yeah, kids will be.
But we could do it this Friday, or the 9th, this Friday.
Because we're actually gonna start working on it 15.
Yeah,
Right,
So
you're thinking the 12th.
the 12th would work.
is it casual enough we could throw it together that fast?
Yeah, 100%. You could find some, Leland's got a few shovels laying around, so.
Bring your own shovel.
What if we did this Friday? I've got a COCC coming up this Friday. So you do it before
Do it at 4:00.
4 o'clock this Friday. Okay,
Yep, absolutely.
Now, I don't want to cut into happy hour for teachers who are celebrating the end of the year.
Leland, 4 o'clock this Friday.
Thursday.
Okay. We'll have Rob Bonner will be there.
Yes.
What?
Am I in town?
It's a wrestling room at the middle school.
I'll be there for sure.
Kelsey, are you going to those?
No. Oh, are you not gonna go?
Oh, it's okay if I'm not. It's fine. I was just curious.
Okay, so 4 o'clock this Friday at the middle school, Tammy will send out a calendar invite and it shouldn't be more than 10 to 15 minutes.
Be prepared to do it.
Be prepared to do some shoveling.
There will be shows. Sorry.
Do not agree.
Perfect. Okay, look at us setting dates.
Can we do? Before we move on to policies, let me do one other quick thing that wasn't on the agenda, should have added it. We talked just a minute about graduation, two things. You and I talked about the third graduation. First of all, congratulations to everybody on that.
I know.
That really went well. The level of spirit and engagement from parents in the parade was incredible, and just the energy and the audience, it was really amazing. Jen and I did note, and we wanted to throw that out to you for your consideration, that maybe it's time to ban the confetti cannons. The trash that was generated was unsightly, and Roundup is really complaining about the cleanup. For some of those. At their event, and so as good guests, maybe it's time to talk about that.
Yes, I would also add air horns, blow horns as well, if you can imagine sitting next to someone who's.
Might be a little more controlled.
So yeah, we will get that in the notes, and I couldn't agree more.
And the other one was, this was a little mentioned item, it got mentioned at the meeting, but I thought it was worth bringing it back up again, that we had a record number of civics honor cords handed out. The civics honor cords were started by the board. That was a board initiative to recognize students who were able to pass a basic proficiency exam in civics. It's been administered every year. And it's growing, and for those who say, well, our students don't get any education around civics and the Constitution and the Declaration and all that, well, I beg to differ, because they have passed a test, they can demonstrate their proficiency, and they were wearing their cords proudly. That was a moment for the board that I think got overlooked in the meeting, but the board congratulated itself on that.
Yes. Credit to our high school team. They worked tirelessly that
Absolutely.
week just to put all those events on. To your point, they all went very smoothly. Yeah, definitely a great week.
It's a full week, but it was amazing to anybody who had a hand in any of it. It was simply amazing, and it seems to grow every year.
Yes, it does.
It is great.
And kudos to you guys, that's the fastest we have ever passed out.
Yeah.
I can't believe how fast that was.
You're the person who was calling names, so I didn't know who was up next. I mean, it was on fire.
It was the quarterback.
It was.
It was quick.
They were coming so quickly. And there was time to stand still where they were like waiting, like, come on, faster.
It went really well.
Nobody flew.
The parade was fun too.
It was a ton of fun.
Yeah.
Yes, again, thank you. That high school team puts in so much work.
Yeah.
So.
You deserve it.
Awesome.
Sorry, I'm gonna get that in, so.
Thank you. Okay, policy updates. Dr. Hoff.
Yeah, really getting your money's worth out of you tonight.
Definitely.
Okay, so just to remind the board on our process, so for our policy committee, we're taking each chapter, so all the A policies, like Kimberly Bonus, Joe Vieira, Scott Cooper, and Kevin are on the committee. We reviewed all the A policies. We pulled out a few that we actually are revising and will bring back. These are the ones that were no changes needed, but by the board reviewing them and adopting them again, it updates the revised date so that we know that we've reviewed it, looked into it, and are good with what it is. So these are the two ones, ACA and ACB-AR are the two ones that we've reviewed and found the need for no changes and are just bringing for the board to re-adopt. Did I miss anything on that, Mr. Cooper?
Nope.
Chair of the policy committee?
Nope, we are moving. You're gonna start seeing more and more policies on the agendas. We reviewed all of the B chapter today. Tammy tells me the rate we're going, we're gonna be done next April, the entire policy book. And kudos to board member Kevin, who is our designated checker of every ORS and every OAR provision to make sure it's the right site. And he has caught several things, and only one meeting.
That sounds like the
Glad-
worst job ever.
glad to have been
It
doing
is so fun.
And we are so thankful.
Yeah.
It's
So
really
thankful
worth
for
it.
this policy
Yeah.
committee.
Yeah, right now our meeting monthly, we meet monthly virtually for the review and then we do the heavy work at an in-person meeting.
That's
It's working.
So there's a motion down there,
Yeah.
if someone's interested in.
Kevin, you wanna do the honors?
Sure. I move to re-adopt the following policies, ACA, ACB -AR.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to readopt the two policies, ACA and ACB-AR. Do we have further discussion? Okay, let's vote. Kevin,
Yes.
Kelsey.
Yeah.
Eric,
Yes.
Scott,
Yes.
and yes as well. Nice job, policy committee. I appreciate that more than you can ever even imagine. Upcoming dates, last day of school, K through 11, half day, June 11th, end of year staff celebration, June 12th, 11 a.m. at Crook County High School. Policy review committee meeting is June 15th at 5:30 at the district office. Policy review committee meeting, July 13th, 12 o'clock, virtual meeting only. And school board meeting, July 13th at 4 p.m. at Brothers Elementary. Moving to public comments. If you wish to make a public comment, please complete and submit the public comment card to executive assistant to the superintendent and school board by the time the agenda is approved. If you're viewing online, please indicate that you would like to speak in the comment section. When you're recognized, please state your name and any group you're representing. Keep your comments to no more than 4 minutes. A group of visitors with a common purpose should designate a spokesperson for the group. And if you wish to request that the board consider an agenda item, please contact the superintendent at least 1 week prior to the next board meeting. Per policy BDDH, the board will not hear comments regarding any individual district staff member. If you have a complaint about a specific staff member, please contact the superintendent or the board chair. Miss Tammy, do we have any comments tonight? We do not. Mr. Ryan, do we have anybody online?
We do not.
We do not. Okay, so no public comments. So at this time, we are going to go ahead and recess to.
Hold on, Madam Chairman, before you do that, I need to declare a potential conflict of interest in relationship to the matter under discussion in the executive session. Nature of the conflict is that my wife is an attorney who is representing one of the parties in this transaction. As a potential conflict of interest, I do not need to recuse myself. However, I choose to recuse myself because I would say that since my wife's involved, I'm probably not very unbiased in the final outcome. So I will be exiting the meeting. It was a pleasure spending the evening with you. Have fun in your executive session.
Well. All right. So, we are going to go ahead and go into executive session. Sorry, I have to make sure I read all of my notes that have been given to me. So now the Crook County School Board will now meet in executive session pursuant to ORS 192.6602E, which allows the board to meet in executive session to discuss a real property transaction. Representative of the news media and visiting staff shall be allowed to attend the executive session. All of the members of the audience are asked to leave the room kindly. Representatives of the news media are specifically directed not to report on or otherwise disclose any of the deliberations or anything said about these subjects during executive session, except to state the general subject of the session as previously announced. Members of the media and others in attendance are specifically prohibited from electronically recording in any format this executive session, and any violation of this will be reported to law enforcement as under ORS 165.540. So at this time, we'll go into executive session.
Maybe take 2 minutes
Yes.
break.
Relax. Okay, so we are reconvening from executive session. And we don't have any discussion or action from executive session. So at this point in time, I am going to go ahead and adjourn this meeting, and it is 9:10. Wait, Eric's communication.